what you would expect from Walmart, this level of packaging. I think this to me feels like what I would expect would come from like DHgate or Temu or something.
My Walmart Birkin came in. Let's open it.
Is it a fake? Is it not? Why would Walmart, in my mind, dice with potentially getting sued by Hermes for launching a short-run series of bags that some of us would call fakes? Have you heard about this? Okay, there is some wild news right now, which I'm sure a lot of you already know about, but I thought we could talk about it. Talk about like what I think about this. Does the Wirkin, and you might be thinking, what is that? It's the Walmart Birkin. Is it a fake? Is it a dupe? Could they end up being sued by Hermes potentially for what they've done? We are going to look at some influencers, particularly on TikTok, who have managed to get these bags because they were like $80, I think they were $79.99. And we're going to talk about the quality of the bags. As I say, does it make them a fake? Do we think Hermes are going to do anything about this? What does it really say about the resale market? Because I really feel like with this Wirkin bag, there's a little bit of laughing going on at Hermes. So we're going to talk about all of this, and I'm going to show you the content that's come off TikTok so that you can see what people are saying about it. So let's go through Hermes. What makes Hermes a special brand? I think really there are, for me, three things that make Hermes special. First of all, it's the fact that it's family run and has been since when? 1837. The brand was known back then for making saddlery, things for horses. And a lot of like things like the saddle stitch are still what's used today. Please, if you're an Hermes customer, an Hermes fan, if anything I'm saying is incorrect, please do correct me in the comments below. I am very much still learning about the brand. It's a brand that I'm really quite fascinated in from the point of view of their history. And also, did you know, they don't have a marketing department. They don't do marketing. Because they don't need to. It's just wild. The whole thing is very, very interesting to me. The product markets itself. Most people kind of, if you're into fashion and you're into luxury and designer fashion, pretty much most people know that these bags are really hard to get. They're very expensive and they're very exclusive unless you're able to go and buy one on the resale market and pay extra money for it. And whether you want to do that is entirely up to you. I know some people have said, and I've seen this on social media, people have said going and buying a Birkin or a Kelly secondhand is not the same as having your name down on the system in Hermes. And you know what I would compare this to? I would compare this to Porsche. With Porsche, they have their top halo cars. They're cars that if you can buy them at list price, they're worth the same day that you drive them off the forecourt, more than what you've just paid for them. So when I bought my car, they were offering me, I'm just thinking about how much I bought it for. They were offering me around about £100,000 more than what I'd just paid for it. That's what they said to me. For my insurance, I needed to know this because I have to insure the car for what it's worth, not what I bought it for, which you don't normally do with cars. But with exotics, this is one of the things you do. So God forbid if it gets stolen, if you have to go and buy it back secondhand, you've got all of your money in the car. And that's what they said to me. They said, do you know what? Congratulations, you've just got allocation on your car. You're in the system. You've been able to spec this to your own personal taste, your colour palette, etc. And they said to me, if we were going to buy this car off you right now, buy it back, we'd give you 100,000 more. So, and it's the same thing with Hermes, and I find this practice really interesting because it means that these products don't need to be marketed because they sell themselves. People who get it, and they want them. Some people want them from the point of view of exclusivity. Some people want them because there's a value in the product. Some people just want them because they love the product. But I find the marketing aspect very interesting. Now I should also start by saying that so I was planning on doing this video, but one of you actually DM'd me on Instagram, and I will cover up your username, not because you've said anything bad at all, but just because I don't know whether you necessarily want your username out there on this video. But you were the one who also said to me, please can you do a video on this? So you said, I'm not sure if you've heard about the Walmart Birkin controversy here in the US. My question is, how many hoops has one got to jump through with Hermes, or is this just another commentary on the ridiculousness of that brand? Is this the ultimate rejection of luxury? And these are all things we need to think about. I think in this video topic, is this a little bit of a side eye at Hermes from Walmart, or from the company selling the products on Walmart, kind of going, really? You want that much money for things and they're not available, and they're available to like the top echelon of customers? Is that really like a good thing to be doing? You let me know. That's the point of luxury. Luxury, I feel when it comes to luxury, a lot of brands have lost what luxury means. If you can, I mean, I like it. I like that we can do this. But if you can go and buy something off the shelf and it's not limited, is that luxury? Or is luxury having to, if you're lucky, get lucky, put in an order and wait? I always think about brands like Lorna of London. I see that as a luxury brand that's not stupidly expensive. The way that you custom make your bag, the way that you have to wait several weeks. I think I waited a couple of months for mine to arrive. That for me feels like luxury, and that bespoke level of service that you don't get when you go to like Chanel or Louis Vuitton. You literally buy off the shelf. I want to kind of show you some of these TikTok videos that have come up because I just find this fascinating. These are from people that have been able to buy, because guys, there were, from what I understand, there was 12 colours and the bag came in 2 sizes and they all sold out, and then the listing got taken down. It's all just very controversial, isn't it? But let's have a look. So this is a lady called Mariah, and she is opening her bag. And as you can see from the packaging, this is kind of like, is this what you would expect from Walmart? This level of packaging? I think this to me feels like what I would expect would come from like DHgate or Temu or something. But let's watch. Let's see what colour she got. I can't actually remember what colour she did get. But one thing I did notice that you're going to see in a minute is apparently the bags are not real leather. They're faux leather. I don't know how true that is, but if you have a look at this, can you see it's quite crumpled? But again, that's kind of to be expected, isn't it? I want to show you one other as well, because I thought this was really interesting. This is from someone called Christy, Styled by Christy. Her video is going viral at the moment for this, and she actually got one in a really nice colour. Let's see what she has to say.
My Walmart Birkin came in. Let's open it. Ooh, she's pretty.
I don't think it's real leather. That's what I've read. I've heard that this is not real leather, but if you got one of these or you know different, let me know in the comments.
It's real leather, and I paid $80 for it. Oh, those are both. Oh, she's so pretty.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, it looks pretty good quality. Just from what I'm seeing through the screen, it actually looks better than the last Birkin we just saw someone opening that was really crinkled. This one actually looks in quite good condition. And the packaging that it turned up in was different. Weird.
It comes with, I guess that's a small strap. Comes with the lock.
Wow.
And it comes with a little, like, tag thing. I gotta figure out where it goes. Oh, look at the picture. Oh, it's pretty. It's such a pretty color.
Wow, okay. That looks pretty good. As I say, when I saw that video, I was really, really surprised because I didn't really know what to expect. Does it constitute being a dupe or a fake? I've been really torn about this, because when I think about a fake, I think about a bag that's, and it is trying to imitate, I think about a bag that's trying to imitate a real bag. So it's covered in the logos, it's a replica, it's a one-to-one copy. That to me is a fake. When a fake item is trying to be something it's not, that is a fake. But when I think about places like River Island, ASOS, a lot of these high street stores, a lot of them make what are basically Chanel classic flaps but without a logo. Does that make them okay? Or does it not? Or is it just an imitation? Or is a fake when something's got a logo on it and that logo is misplaced because it shouldn't be there? The problem as I see it with Hermes, and the reason why I'm stuck with this, is although it doesn't have the logo on it, so it's not like an outright fake, but the shape of the Birkin and the Kelly is quintessential Hermes. If you know, you know. If you know the shape of that bag is as good as a big logo, because everyone knows what that bag is trying to be, what it is. So to me, this is an exception to the rule. Normally I would say a fake is like a bag that's a replica, that's trying to be something it's not. Normally I would say a bag that doesn't have a logo and has been altered in some way, looks it's in its own right, like itself, but you can see that there is, in the design, should we say, some elements that have been borrowed from a designer item. Then I feel like, is that more of a dupe? Because I feel, to me, like dupes and replicas or fakes or whatever, they feel different to me. I don't know, let me know what you think. But with this, I do feel like this is trying to be a fake. Because despite the fact it doesn't have the logo, they haven't taken the shape of the Birkin and put their own twist on it to make it look like a Wirkin, if we're going to call it that. They've basically lifted the shape of the bag, the design of the bag, and they've replicated it. So to me, this does feel like a fake, despite the fact it doesn't have the Hermes logo on the front of it, which is tiny anyway. That logo is so small anyway. You'd have to get up closer to kind of see it in the first place. But this bag has split the internet. There are Hermes lovers, Hermes customers going nuts about this bag, saying how wrong it is, that it shouldn't be allowed, that Hermes should potentially take Walmart to court for this. But then there are others. There are other people saying, no, do you know what? The price of these designer bags is dumb. They're too expensive. Are they really worth it? Is this whole sort of privileged approach to even being offered one just classist, I guess you could say? So many people on both sides of the argument. And do you know what? I'm going to be annoying here. What's my take on this? I'm going to say I'm kind of stuck in the middle. I don't really care. I mean, I think if I was an Hermes customer and if I'd busted myself to get one of those bags and I'd managed to get one, I would feel like, yeah, this is like a cheap fake. This feels like a cheap fake. And I've always said the problem, as I see it with fakes, is they devalue the real thing. Because I see, for a bag that's meant to be very hard to get, I see a hell of them around, like lots of them around. And I don't know how it is that they're everywhere when they're so difficult to get hold of. Now, the resale market is a thing. And I know that for some of these brands, I know with Porsche, when they offer you one of these halo products, their top products, I know of some people that have had to sign a contract that actually says they're not going to resell it, they're not going to flip it for more money. Because some people do that. Some people buy these cars, literally the same week, it's on Auto Trader for more money than what they paid. And it will sell for that, and they'll make a nice tidy profit. But you get blacklisted for that. If you do that, and they find out, the dealership finds out, you're off the program. You don't get offered another one again. And I don't know whether the same thing goes on with Hermes. I'm pretty sure that if your salesperson found out you were doing that, that they wouldn't want to sell you another one again. But I don't know whether there's a contract in place for that. But one final thing we're going to end on that I thought was quite interesting is something going on in Korea to do with resale and to do with Chanel, Hermes and Nike. So these three brands, and I thought this was interesting that Nike are also part of this, because to me they're not a luxury brand, they're more of a high street brand, but I get why they have a point on this. All three of these brands are trying to stop the resale market in Korea, and basically courts in Korea have said, no, you can't do that to people. If people want to buy your stuff and flip it for more money, people should be able to do that. And do you remember I said to you years ago, I did a video about how Chanel were trying to stop the resale market. And I had loads of you going, oh my God, they can't do that. And I was like, you're right, they can't do it, but they're going to try and do it, because a lot of these brands, they don't like it that people make profit. Now, I'm not personally all for reselling. I think to me, it's a little bit cheeky that you were privileged enough to be offered something and then you want to go and make profit on it. Like, I know the world circulates on profit and that's how you live your life and pay for your food, and I get it. But I do feel like it's a little bit shady, but let me know what you think. So what's been said, Chanel, Hermes and Nike all argued that considering the property value of luxury goods, the act of grabbing a product ahead of other customers and reselling it at a higher price can harm other consumers and must be blocked. I see both sides of the argument here. I don't think any of us as consumers should be limited to being able to sell our stuff when we've bought it. Yes, I think that possibly resellers, that practice is a bit shady and a bit unfair, particularly when you have waiting lists for things. And then, like, for example, I remember the heart-shaped Chanel bag. You just couldn't get it. It sold out before it hit the shelves to top customers. And it was all over Vestiaire Collective for like double, triple how much it actually was if you could get your hands on it. It's only through one of you, actually, who was very kind to me and hooked me up with your salesperson. That's how I managed to get one for list price and not having to pay overs. And I love that bag. That bag's going nowhere. But I can see both sides of the argument. And reselling aside, regardless of my feelings on reselling, I don't think that these brands should be able to take away our rights to sell our stuff. Again, going back to Porsche, you might be thinking, well, what happens if you buy one of these cars and then you do want to sell it? You've got to take it back to them. They make the profit. You don't. That's how it works. But if you don't follow the rules, you don't get offered another one. So you kind of have to stick to how it is. And a lot of these luxury brands do it. And it's not right, but it's how it goes. And the car industry is terrible for it, to be honest. They're all at it. Ferrari, Lamborghini, they're all at it. When you're done with your car, they want it back. They're not cool unless you get permission. And I have seen car videos before where people have actually phoned up the dealership in the videos to record themselves getting permission to go and sell it off their own back and make profit on it. Crazy. Have you been able to get one of these bags? What are your thoughts on it? If you're in the US, and because I know that the news has blown up over there in terms of what Walmart have done, do you think this is like the funniest thing you've ever heard in your life? Or do you think it's really not funny at all and it's an awful thing that should never have happened? I think it's quite an interesting news story, and I feel like it could be a marketing stunt actually, because I can't think of any other reason why you dice with a lawsuit for the sake of selling a selection of bags of which it doesn't sound like there was a load out there anyway, availability wise, quantity wise. But let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.